two perspectives. One, I'm from an Indian background, and there is no gambling in the country as such. So when people come here, there's a lot of isolation, settling in process, and alienation because their own cultural aspects are not available, and that drives them to go to the pokies. The other aspect is also a lot of people are educated to some extent, and they are working in the city. For example, there is easy access to the casino. So you finish your work, and then there's, what do you do? Even if you have families, if there are any issues, most people have a reasonably good income. They have a car, and there is easy access. And the access is a huge issue in Australia, because I've also lived in the US, where this easy access is not there. So that's why we are the biggest gamblers in the world. I would say probably the new migrants, people who are just migrating in and who are not linked with the settled population from the country. So it could be young people, it could be parents who are coming to support their children who've just come in. But also it's a lot to do with isolation from their own communities. Until they find the right connection, it is hard to get help from anywhere else. They don't know what other services are there, even when they get into a gambling problem. They shouldn't be allowed to advertise, in my opinion, in the first place, but it is there everywhere. And I get pretty much every day, I get, by email or in other forms, but the visibility to even young children during sports. The advertisement, when you don't advertise for smoking or for alcohol, in my opinion, gambling should come under the same category. Yes, as was mentioned earlier, sports betting and online gambling is on the increase, and easy accessibility. You don't need to venture to a venue. You can sit at the privacy of your home. I have in my speakers bureau that I coordinate, called Respin, I have about 30 people, and a lot of them have never stepped into. Some of them have never stepped into the gambling venues, but they have done it in the privacy of their own bedroom without their own spouse or parents knowing. And that is the harm that internet-based gambling can cause. And it's not visible at all until they come to the crisis stage. And that's the difficulty. Even when you go to a poker venue, somebody's witnessing. Somebody can tap on the shoulder and say something, but if it's in the privacy of your home with your own phone, it's very hard to trace. When I speak about my community, a lot of them are in the private or corporate sector. They would not have access. They wouldn't be going to a Medicare office or a Centrelink office, because a lot of them come on work visa or permanent residence. So the only point of contact where they can come into contact with services or help is a GP, because they wouldn't go to, there is no need to go to a Centrelink office or community services, community health councils, so they are not connected with anything else. So if they have an issue, they wouldn't know where to get help from. And that's why it's important to educate GPs, accountants. They have to do their taxes, banks. So those are places where anybody and everybody has to be in touch. Otherwise, I can't think of any other place that a person from my community might seek help from. It is something that needs to be spoken over and over for the stigma to get reduced. For the stigma, when it comes down, then people will be more willing to talk about it and get help.